starting to implement a secure global system for automating customs operations. In this article they are telling us the system will start on Jan 1st, 2025. How could this be without the IQD on FOREX for a reference rate? I believe that this a secure system will not yet be online since the IQD is not yet on FOREX. It will need the IQD on FOREX to properly conduct the customs collection service through a secure. My analytical thinking mind tells me something was held up again. It sounds too fishy to have multiple events being targeted around the same period, beginning of January 2025, and all of them relying on the IQD getting to FOREX. Do you see it too? Come on folks, this is exciting, not a disappointment. Sala came out and said the rise of the dollar will only be a bubble in the market for a temporary period. He doesn't want us to worry about it. He said it will not affect what is going to be given to us. Mr. Sammy told me, wait and see what Alex says. He and the CBI control the rate, not the Parliament Finance Committee. To me it looks like the ball is in the central bank's court at this time. Iraq has to have some secrecy because it's so highly sensitive. It's going to have shocks. It's going to have an impact. I love this one. Iraq ranks first in the world in the concentration of natural resources. Iraq has the highest per kilometer of natural resources in the entire world: oil, gas, precious metals, minerals, gold and rare earth minerals, and more. Trust me, they have value to support a higher currency. Iraq establishes investment portfolio to support stability of national currency. Quote, the economic advisor to the Prime Minister, Mazar Mohammed Salih, revealed Iraq's first step after extinguishing its foreign debts towards establishing an investment portfolio to support the stability of the national currency. These assets that support the stability of the balance of payments and the national currency, i.e. foreign reserves, are one of the aspects of the sovereign funds called quasi-sovereign wealth fund. We need to wait and see if they continue to have currency auctions. That's an important piece. Today's news suggests the currency auctions have officially ended. If the currency auctions have ended, you are extremely close to the rate change. This means you're extremely close to the rate change, like say hello to January. In other words, keep your freaking eyes on January. They told us so many times already they needed security and stability to begin the project to delete the zeros. Well, now they have it, and so will they begin the project now. My CBI contact has told me on my call to Iraq yesterday 0101 that the CBI is planning to conduct the project very soon, very soon. The central bank announces the suspension of the electronic platform mechanisms related to selling the dollar. The auctions came to an end. Article 1, Central Bank announces major achievement in foreign transfers. Article 2, the central bank announces the suspension of the electronic platform mechanisms related to selling the dollar. Foreign currency auctions ending all over Iraq's news. IT will have a bullseye effect on the exchange rate, because the goal is to give the Iraqi citizens purchasing power. Iraq has taken all the necessary steps to get the Iraqi dinar back on track. I understand it's taking a long time, and I'm sure you feel anxious about this because of all these people blowing smoke up your ass and getting you hyped up on hopium. Relax. It's going to happen. I really believe that it's going to happen. Things are still looking good. I am definitely hearing conversations in Iraq about small notes, lower denominations. They would not be talking about this in Iraq if the dinar were not about to have a higher value. The regional and global integration has begun to take shape. It's pretty big, you guys. This is all in real time, and we're watching it. We've been talking about it for a long time, and now we're seeing the fruits of their labor. They're offering to the world that they're going to showcase a commemorative coin, currency, stamps. Why? Are they changing currencies? They talk about metals. If they don't have metals, why would you be talking about that? Because there's going to be something that's happening to use them. They need to raise the value of their currency. It's obvious to everybody. It should be by now at least. The central bank announces the suspension of the electronic platform mechanisms related to selling the dollar. Quote, the Central Bank of Iraq announced, today, Wednesday, January 1, 2025, the suspension of work on the electronic platform mechanisms related to selling the dollar. They're giving us instructions now on TV and standards. They call it for the circulation and exchange of banknotes. They tell us this mechanism is a unification. These are instructions on how to bring in our 30 notes. They just told us this mechanism will include a form of counting and sorting currency. They say this will be implemented 2nd of January. Frank, this is great news. They put two different articles. States two different things. They said they were going to end the use of the dollar and the currency auctions by January 2nd. I don't think that information is credible because the second article stated going into early 2025 is when they would be suspending use of the dollar/currency auctions. That makes more sense because the daily currency auctions are a tool used by the central bank to stabilize the daily market value of the dinar. They'll more realistically stop somewhere in early 2025. Question, what's the latest rates you have heard on dinar and dong? Marks, the latest I have heard is about $3.90 street rate on the dinar. Dong we have heard everything from 0.47 cents to almost $4. Most of my sources are still telling me to expect it in the $2 range. My CBI contact told me that the next in-country rate change of the dinar is coming and sooner than we might think. We're in a really good place right now. It's quite conceivable that we will have a true celebration on Thursday. That's Thursday, January 2nd. We know that the staff, the leadership and the staff of the redemption centers are going in Thursday, the 2nd, to be ready for us. If the information we're getting is coming through for us, every reason to believe we are going to get this by Thursday. The CBI announces the official closing of the dollar selling window. Auctions are done and closed, and they have announced the transition to the new process. There was no auction today. They're putting the parallel market to rest. That's probably what's going to happen. Would there be some sort of one in the future? Could be, but we're going to find out. The financial and economic advisor to the Prime Minister, Mirza Mohammed Saleh, denied the existence of a salary crisis in the country, stressing the existence of large financial reserves that cover the required liquidity. Mirza Mohammed Saleh said in an interview followed by Al Maluma agency, there have been speculations recently about oil prices, a liquidity crisis, and so on, noting that at the end of the fiscal year, a financial audit process takes place, and thus there may be a slight delay in issuing salaries for a few days, according to accounting reconciliations. The Prime Minister's advisor pointed out that there is no salary crisis, and what is happening here there in this regard is nothing more and nothing less than fantasy. Regarding the size of the monetary mass outside the central bank, Mirza Mohammed Saleh explained that it is around 100 to 105 trillion dinar.